Given how setTimeout works when passed a function reference, what would you expect to happen when you pass in a method that was first looked up as a property of an object? Notice that we're using dot notation to find the method at the moment we go looking for it to pass it into setTimeout. Again, let's start by considering how we expect the positional parameters to work. As before, they're bound to undefined, since no values were passed in between the parentheses on the line where we call the callback. Furthermore, the setTimeout function wasn't passed any of the color values that might have been passed to the callback, and so the body of setTimeout wouldn't have any way of knowing what values you wanted passed in. The next question is what will get bound to the parameter this. Hint: remember where we have to look to determine the binding for the parameter this. It isn't in the function definition, nor is it where the function is looked up on the object. The important moment is where the function is actually invoked. Generally, people find it tempting to imagine that since we did a property lookup on the red object, perhaps that lookup event would have some bearing on the keyword this inside the function. But this moment is irrelevant, since only the moment of call time influences how the parameter this will get bound. Just as in the previous example where we passed in fn instead of r.method, the last line of setTimeout is still a free function invocation, and not a method invocation with a dot. Therefore, this would still be bound to its default value, the global object.